Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today for you guys another video of freaking Persona 5X. Inside today's video guys, we're going to be going over which weapon you guys should be using for the new navigator Riko. Now, we are going to have a build guide for this character coming up probably the next video or two after this one here. I did have another video planned as well, going over maybe the summer characters, but I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to release it, if it's later on today or tomorrow. But for this one, we're going to be talking about the weapons here. So this character in general, of course, seeing that she just came out, we got a bunch of different events and things of that nature. But one of the best things here was being able to get her weapon fully max duped. So in one of these little things here, or at least I think it was this one down here, you'll be able to get this weapon here max duped here, and that is making her have 2 4-stars and a 5-star. So today we're going to see exactly which one is worth using and utterly why. So first things first, we're going to go over the basic 4-star. Now, as all of you guys do know, at times there are people who may miss the event, and who knows if this event is going to be permanent and stuff like that. So if you do miss the event, we have to go over this. For the 4-star weapon here, pretty much you're getting a attack boost whenever Bloom is broken, or pretty much whenever one of the actual stats that she puts on you is broken, and this permanently increases her attack power for all companions by 3.5%, which can be stacked up by 5 different levels. Now this is a pretty darn good little weapon here. It's pretty decent for a 4-star here, but the only issue is this, when you fully dupe it, goes from 12% attack to 24% attack, in which attack is all fine and dandy, but this character really needs speed. So when you look at it this way, if you are able to get the event weapon, which a lot of us should be able to get the event weapon, even max duping this is a little bit iffy. Now for the Bloom status or the vulnerability status here, this is pretty much once that does break, or when you break like the enemy's shields, technically their vulnerability, you're then able to at least increase your companion's attack level, which is also really good. But compared to the other weapons, it's very lackluster. So once this one is actually max duped, you have it at least around, I think it was 6.8 or 6.5% of attack on everyone. And excuse me, I'm a little bit freaking trying to help myself breathe for a second. But yes, about 6.8% attack on all companions, which I mean, is it bad? But it definitely isn't good compared to the other two. It does have a stack up to 5 times. So if you did not get this weapon, which I just don't understand how, anyone who's playing currently, you better get this weapon and you better freaking dupe it out. If you don't, you're literally doing yourself a disservice, because I'm gonna straight up tell you right now, this thing is definitely worth it. But anyways, so now that we went over that here, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a permanent thing, but it might be. But now that we went over this one, let's go over the 4-star event weapon. Now, for this weapon here, it has a very unique taste. If you guys remember back when the game first started, we had Morgana and his actual event weapon as well. These weapons are fairly interesting because they don't, you wouldn't think they're as good as they are, but they're freaking stellar. So if we go ahead and look at her other 4-star weapon, which is the Wind Wagasa here, or at least the Crimson Plum Blossom, this actual thing, first of all, looks stunning. It looks amazing here. But instead of attack, it boosts her speed in general. Now, this is what we are looking for Riko. Riko is really needing that speed, because in her entire kit, boy oh boy, is speed very important. So having this here with no dupes, which first of all of us who are starting with and got this weapon, you better get all the dupes. But having it with no dupes here, you have 4.6 speed. And then of course, if you go ahead and dupe it up, which we are actually going to do this on camera because I wanted to dupe it up anyways, we go ahead and dupe up every last one of these. You can see that we slowly get a power boost increase, but we also get a speed increase. So we went from the 4.6 getting up to the 4.9, and eventually as we keep ranking this bad boy up, not only are we getting that nice old buff, or at least what's it called, our attack power and things of that nature, but we're also getting the higher speed, eventually leading to 8.5%. This weapon is going to be the weapon you're going to run, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know a lot of you guys might go for the 5-star weapon, you might think it's really good, but hear me out on this one. This weapon is the one that you're going to want to run, because every time you have a vulnerability or the shields that you break on the enemies, it will give you a buff. Now this buff is no small buff here. You're getting an increase in attack that starts off at the 7.0%, but once you have it fully maxed, of course, goes to 13%. This also increases your defense as well, and this is gonna really make a lot of things really easy for you, because seeing you're gonna increase your defense from 11 to now 20%, you have that extra sustainability. Alongside of this, you're also increasing your HP from 7% to 13% for 2 whole turns. So you get all 3 of those stats for 2 whole turns immediately, allowing you to do some crazy buffing. Now, this isn't even the end of this weapon. This weapon has even one more little initial thing that really is good as well. But there is a 5 to 10%, which is the max dupe amount, 10% fixed chance for win to gain 1 extra intel. If you guys already know about her kit, intel and win is fairly important. Seeing that she's able to gain these, this allows her to pull off a lot more of her more important skills to give you more of those important buffs here. So such as like if you have a ton of intel stacks, you're able to increase your damage. Depending on at least what skill you end up using, you can so-called get more intel stacks, and then of course get extra attack, extra defense, extra HP, or all 3. So those are really important when it does come down to her kit, and just having the speed as well on this whole kit, or at least on this weapon, furtherly makes this weapon very much so important. Let alone, this is a 4-star. This isn't even the 5-star. This is a 4-star that we are all going to be able to get our 6th. This 4-star off rip is probably going to be the one that you're going to be running no matter what you do. It's really good, and it kind of makes the 5-star look a little bit lackluster. But with this in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at the 5-star. So if we take a look into the 5-star, or at least see how the 5-star does react here, I did have it on my wish list. I'm actually going to end up taking it off very soon because it's literally just not needed after a while. So I might just slap back on that 5-star here. But if we go ahead and take a look at her 5-star here, it is really good, right? It's a decent 5-star in general. There's nothing really bad about it. But here's the main issue. You are increasing your speed heavily, which is what she does need here. But all in all, speed can be very much so worked on, especially if you are using a decent card set. So all in all, it's already kind of in that shifty type point. And if we're being honest, the highest you're going to get is going to be a 0 for this weapon unless you're whaling. So 15 speed, and the 4-star weapon when it's maxed out is at 8.5 speed. I mean, it's not too much you're missing. It's like 7 speed stats. You can actually get that up easily with a set effect, so it shouldn't really be hard to do so. But alongside of this, of course, for every 2 vulnerability that you break, so any 2 shields on the enemy that you break, you will gain 2 through 5 intel. Now, naturally, if I'm looking at this right, you can gain these at any different point, right? You're able to gain these intels additionally, but this also increases your allies damage by 6% up to 11.4%. Now, if we're thinking this about R0 for any other person, 6% isn't really much, because if we think about it, that's damage dealt, and it's not all in all attack power and things like that. We don't get any extra stats, unlike the 4-star where we got attack boost, defense boost, HP boost, and alongside of a chance or a fixed chance to gain an intel, we only get just basic old damage dealt boost, and it's only for 1 turn. While the last weapon that we looked at, the 4-star that we're able to R6, is for 2 whole turns. This is starting to make this weapon look a little bit kind of meh a little, and it does kind of do it. It does a horrible way of actually overshadowing this weapon a lot. Now, the good part about this weapon is you are able to stack more of intel, of course. So instead of having a max of 11, you can now go to 14 or 11 through 14, which is really helpful. But all in all, we're missing too many substats that could be really helpful for our team. So this weapon is more of, if you are gonna wail on it, then sure, go for it. It's definitely gonna be the better weapon. But if you are just a regular person, so you're just like a free to play, you're a person who's small spending, things like that, the 4-star weapon is going to be the way to go. Now, whether you guys decide to heed my warning on this, that is up, of course, to you. At the end of the day, it is your account. Though I will tell you this, the best weapon when it comes down to Riko is going to be that 4-star weapon. And I would actually like to see some of you guys go ahead and comment back and forth in the comment section and tell me why you think it isn't. Because I feel like there's some people out there who are some diehards about that 5-star weapon. but I'm gonna be honest with you, even with those opinions, it's gonna be hard to try and change my mind, and you're probably not gonna get around to doing so. But all in all, which weapon should you use for Riko? Go ahead and use the 4-star. It's definitely the better weapon here. You'll get the most use out of it, and it's going to be amazing for your companions in general. So without further ado, you guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button before ahead and consider subscribing if you are new. We're coming up quick on 3.2K subscribers, so all support is very much so thankful. So thank you guys a lot, and till next time, peace out.